the first time I've heard of you was through the real Ghostbusters fan art.
Mm,
I thought
cool.
it was really cool.
Yeah, very cool.
But
Thanks.
then Baby Belushi started popping up on my social media feed, but
That guy.
I didn't know I was the same person.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
saying. Some people
yeah,
have no
yeah,
idea. It's very strange. Yes, I also just happen to look a lot like John Belushi,
yeah,
and then I'll dress like Jake Blues or Bluto Blutarsky from Animal House,
yeah.
and like go to cons. It kind of started at I have some friends that actually throw a toga party every year here on Staten
Yeah.
Island, the end of the summer. It's like the end of everything. Like we're all gonna fight, we're gonna light a fire, we're all gonna get half naked, we're gonna jump in the pool, we're completely out of our minds. And whatever you want to do, it's fine. You know what I mean? I just drink and I smoke and that's it. But I got friends like on Molly, like running around naked. It's wild. It's a wild scene. Anyway, I would dress up sometimes as Bluto for that, just to mess around with my friends. And then so Ryan Espin, who's the president of the New York City Ghostbusters,
Hmm.
that like the fan franchise, we met years ago before any of that. He used to be part of this thing called Minions of Gozer, and it was this Ghostbusters
Oh,
shadow cast, and it was fucking awesome. It was so wild. As a matter of fact, John Zaluga, who I brought up before, I did the podcast with for 10 years. I took him first time I heard of this. I took him to it. They were playing at the IFC Theater in Manhattan, and I was like, for his birthday, it was like right around March. It was right around nowish. His birthday is in March, so I took him to this show, and I was like, oh my god, I have to meet these people. I have to get involved somehow. And it was wild. So if you don't know what a shadow cast is,
hmm.
I'm sure you do, but just to explain, to elaborate,
Yeah.
for your listeners, um, it's like Rocky Horror Picture Show. So it's like people up in front of the screen while the movie's playing, like
Yeah.
reenacting scenes. So you have people in full props. Like the Ecto One was like somebody wore it was like made out of cardboard. They wore it like on
Oh, okay.
suspenders, like a sandwich sign type of
Yeah.
old school. You know what I mean? Die Hard 3 style
Oh, yeah.
without the
Yeah.
racism.
I got,
Uh,
I got it.
but with like yeah, but with like lights and stuff, and they're running around, and so they had a Slimer puppet, and they would string like like Christmas lights, and they were blasting Slimer. It was wild, and people shooting silly string all over. So I was like, I have to be a part of this in
Yeah.
some form. And me and Ryan started opening the show. Ryan was also playing Venkman on the show.
Oh, okay.
Him and I started doing Jake and Elwood, and we would open with like Soul Man, and everybody
Uh-huh.
needs somebody, and like that's kind of how it started, like dressing like Belushi for things. But then I only kind of went like outside of the friends, or like showing it to a bunch of rowdy Ghostbusters fans.
Yeah.
I took it to I went to Star Wars Celebration
Oh, yeah.
2019.
Anaheim.
Yeah, not the Anaheim one. I mean, I've been
Oh,
going every
that
year since 2012.
was that
So like
Chicago?
this was Chicago.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Chicago.
this was, and since it was Chicago, and I already had the whole Blues Brothers suit, I was like, you know what? I'll go as Jake, but I bought like a black Star Wars, just a tie, like a TIE fighter X-wing battle on a
Oh,
tie.
cool.
And I just was like, fuck it, I'll go like this because it's Chicago. And like people lost their minds. It was
Yeah.
like yeah, everybody in Chicago, like I just, yeah, like I was getting like love from everybody. I was getting things for free. It was wild. So I was like, you know what? Let me do this every time I go to a con. I go to a lot of cons. Like one of
Yeah.
my best friends, he's a big Star Wars autograph collector.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll go with him everywhere just because that's my man. And like, I just like getting out there and mixing it up at a con. Like you always come back with something cool. You always get a good story. You always meet a nice person. You always
Yeah.
get some great pics. You see some cool cosplay. Like, why not go to a con? It's a
Yeah, it's so
Saturday.
fun.
Yeah, take a drive out to Boston. It's 4 hours away. Go to a fucking con all day. Have a blast. Sometimes stay overnight. Get bombed. Stay at a
Uh-huh.
Airbnb for a night or something. I like that type of stuff. So I started doing the Baby Belushi thing every time I go to a con. Just like, hey, you know what? Let's see how far it goes. And then it actually got to the Sony. I got contacted by
Oh,
Jason Reitman
yeah,
last year.
for his SNL movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I got contacted. Well, not by Reitman himself, by his people, by casting at Sony,
Yeah.
and they asked me to read for the role. So I, had to submit a tape and everything, and obviously I didn't get it. This guy Matt Wood got it, and
Yeah.
he looks great, and I think think he's gonna rock it. But yeah, I sit there somehow. So
Yeah, but
yes, Jim,
I can
why
I
not?
can imagine just the experience of auditioning for that. Yeah, that's
It
awesome.
was cool. It was a little, I mean, it was nerve wracking, of course, for what actually, what it was, but it
Yeah.
was like extra nerve wracking because it was like maybe 4 days before the strikes all went down.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I don't know. I remember walking into, I was with my sons and their friends. I took them to Six Flags Great Adventure.
Uh-huh.
It's in New Jersey, like, Freehold, New Jersey, Jackson, New Jersey.
Hmm.
And I just looked at my phone as we were walking in and I read that the strike happened. And I was just like, oh no. It was like, I'm not going to hear about this for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, the movie wound up getting cast, I think like February or something, just
Yeah, it
this
was
past February.
recent. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, holy Christ. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, that's awesome. And yeah, I didn't know it was the same person, the real Ghostbusters artist and Baby Belushi cosplay. But
It's a weird combo.
until uh, until you were in Rebel Force Radio.
Yes.
So
Oh
that's
yeah, Rebel
it's
Force Radio.
so
Yeah.
hey, it's the
My
same
buddies.
guy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Rebel. I listened to Rebel Force Radio uh, for years now, and it's actually
Nice.
one of
Shut
the
shut.
yeah, shut too, Jason and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love those guys.
yeah, that podcast, Rebel Force Radio. It's actually one of the inspirations for this podcast.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, very, very cool. They are
yeah.
they're me a lot. I'm gonna go see them next month on May the 4th.
Oh yeah, they have
They're
a
doing a show in Connecticut.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I'm hyped for it.
Yeah.